For most of human history, the roughest kinds of sex choking, slapping, hair pulling were whispered in hidden corners, confined to small, carefully guarded kink communities. They were not mainstream. They were rituals of trust, rehearsed by people who knew the language of boundaries, who spoke openly about consent, who understood how far was too far. But the world has changed. In just a single decade, what was once rare has become routine. Now, surveys tell us that 40 to 75% of young adults admit to trying these things. They are choking each other, slapping each other, pulling hair, leaving marks. They are doing varsity-level sex with junior-level communication. And the danger isn't the act itself, it's the silence. Because when rough sex lived in kink communities, it was framed by rules. You didn't touch a neck without permission. You didn't slap a cheek without agreement. Safe words were sacred, boundaries were honored. But porn doesn't show that. Porn only shows the impact, the gasp, the moan, the power. It cuts out the most important part, the negotiation. And so, when a young man learns about sex from his screen, he doesn't learn how to ask. He only learns how to act. And when a young woman hears from her friends or sees memes romanticizing being choked, she doesn't learn how to prepare. She only learns that this is what's expected. So what happens when two people meet, two people who have never spoken of limits, who have never drawn the map of their own desires, and they try to improvise? That's where the line between play and trauma dissolves. I once worked on a case like this. To college students. A bar. Drinks. A dorm room. Kissing turns to sex, but no one stops to ask what's allowed. Midway through, he slaps her face. He wraps his hand around her throat. He squeezes. She freezes. Panic floods her chest, but no words come out. Later, she cries, calls her roommate, files charges. In court, he swears he thought she wanted it because porn taught him this is what women like. Because some women in his past had encouraged it, but she had never seen it coming. And that's the paradox. Rough sex is not inherently abusive. It can be consensual, it can be erotic, it can be deeply intimate, but only when it is wrapped in trust, explicit communication, and permission. Without that, it is not sex. It is assault wearing the mask of pleasure. The courtroom becomes the battlefield where this distinction is argued, and too often, both lives are shattered in the process. Even the guide's online articles about safe choking mislead. They compare it to martial arts, where experts choke under strict supervision, sober, trained, surrounded by safety signals. But bedrooms are not dojos. Add alcohol, inexperience, adrenaline, and silence, and suddenly, what was supposed to be sexy can kill. That is why organizations like the National Coalition for Sexual Freedom have created one standard: explicit prior permission. Not vague hints, not assumptions, not silence, but clarity. To sober people talking before it happens, agreeing on what is allowed, knowing how to stop if it goes too far. That is what separates intimacy from violence. That is what keeps exploration from becoming evidence. The truth is this: young people are not wrong for wanting intensity. They are not broken for craving roughness. Desire is not the enemy. Ignorance is. Porn will not teach you how to hold a throat without crushing a windpipe. Twitter will not tell you how to slap without crossing a line. Memes will not give you safe words. If you are going to play with fire, you must learn the rules of fire. If you are going to explore the dark side of sex, you must first learn to walk through the dark with a light. So here is the message: don't choke on a first date. Don't slap without trust. Don't confuse silence with consent. If you are going to touch the dangerous edges of desire, you must also honor the responsibility that comes with it. Because sex, at its deepest, is not about how hard you can push, it's about how deeply you can connect. Rough sex can be real. It can be powerful. But without permission, it is just violence. And that, no matter how porn sells it, is never sexy.